open the street.
Didn't do anything to protect your air and water. So now they're working on phase 2 of the ordinances, which is supposed to help us out, but the task force is heavily stacked towards industry, which I think that we need to change that fact. I've been doing this now, this is going on the 3rd election cycle, and the same people are still sitting on the city council and are the mayor here participating, and really, I'm telling you, can make a difference. You can make a difference. It doesn't seem like it, but even a baby step forward is not a step backwards. So I'm glad everybody's showing up, and I appreciate it.
Denton, former Boy Scout, member of the ISO. Woo! Yeah.
All right, well, the gas companies have something that they would like to say. They'd like to say that fracking is safe, that it's clean, that it's green. They'd like to tell us that it doesn't poison our water, it doesn't pollute our air, it doesn't destroy our land, and it doesn't corrupt our community or our city government. They'd like us to believe that natural gas will be the cure-all to all of our economic problems. The big gas mafia would like you to trust them. They'd like to come up to you and say, hey, just drink this water. Drink it deeper, deeper. Don't worry about the cancer. That's natural. Breathe this air. Breathe more, deeper. Ignore the cough. That's natural. Here, fill your wallet with more and more money. It's natural. Greed is natural. The city of Denton doesn't want fracking. We've all seen that. We've been all over Denton. We've been around here. We've been organizing. We know people in Denton don't want fracking. We don't want their money. We want a moratorium and we want companies out of Denton. Because we're at a crossroads right now here in Denton. If we don't ban fracking now and if we don't criminalize the poisoning and destruction of our environment, we're going to wish that we had. Because if we don't do it now, someday we're going to realize that we can't drink gas, we can't breathe smoke, and that money won't cure all of our problems. So they may tell us that our coughs are natural, that our greed, or that our city's greed is natural, that everything that's happening is natural. But it's not natural, it's just natural gas. So we want them out, we want a moratorium, we want to keep fighting.
The first thing I'll say is, if some people have told us already, but if you don't know, we all know who Ed Ireland is. Ed Ireland is the bane of our existence. He's a propagandist for the natural gas industry, and he's on the task force that is writing our regulations, which is pretty par for the course in this country, if you ask me. So
he doesn't even live here.
He doesn't even live here, but so like that, he's the worst of it. But you need to know that John Sigmund, who's also on the task force, and Tom LaPointe are on the mayor's re-election committee to get re-elected in 2 months, 3 months. So this is an interconnected system of people that are well connected with each other. And we need to understand that. They didn't just pick these people for the task force out of nothing. They picked them because they knew they were supporters. We only have one person on the task force that can be reasonably said to be on our side. Everyone else is against us or trying to mitigate our effect. And what I also want to say is, fracking connects to the 1%. If you're hearing the term 99% versus 1% and you don't know what we're talking about, Ed Ireland is the 1%. You need to understand that these people don't exist in some metaphorical, or it's not metaphorical. These people do exist. His name is Ed Ireland. He makes a lot of money, comes into our city, writes regulations so he can make more money. That's the essence of what we're talking about. When we're not against corporations only, we're against corporations and government colluding with each other for corrupt practices, which is exactly what's happening here, and that's exactly what's happening in Washington. So what we're doing here is connected to everything else that's happening. Even though the Occupy movement as a whole isn't concentrating on fracking, it is part of the movement, and we need to remember that. And maybe that's our role in the movement, is making environmentalism a core issue in Occupy, as it is not right now. And that, I personally think that's where we need to go. And I hope more people start thinking about it in terms of that way, especially those of you that aren't occupiers. There's a lot of people here that are, but there's just as many that aren't. And don't listen to anything you're seeing on TV, and that's the last thing I'll say.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin. I'm in the International Socialist Organization. I just want to say that wherever she went, she was right. Yeah, this is a baby. The City Council actually discussing a moratorium until regulations are in place is a baby step forward as far as ending fracking, but it's a giant leap forward for our movement. What they are saying to us is that we are having an effect. That they are actually starting to recognize that we are here, and we are not going to let them keep going forward as if we didn't exist. Ricardo was right. This is about hope. This is about dignity. This is about the city of Denton belonging to us. The air that we breathe, the land that we walk on, the homes that we live in, the water that we drink belongs to us. It does not belong to the industry, and it does not belong to Ireland or John Sigmund or any of the rest, or Don Butler, or anybody on that task force that was appointed who doesn't even live here but is here just to represent the interests of the industry. People who tell us that that fracking is just going to keep happening and there's nothing we can do about it, we're just going to have to accept it. Well, we're here to tell them fracking is not going to keep happening. We don't have to accept it. They have to accept that we are not going to let them eat at our table anymore.
I don't have anything amazing to say. I want to thank everyone for coming, and I know like every last person here, so obviously everyone here cares about this. I just want to say that it really is important for us to be here doing this kind of these protests, and it's hard to see. The reason isn't, you can't see it right now, but us doing this, which actually isn't radical, but just coming out here and protesting lets other people feel like they can comfortably go sit in meetings and like come and help register people to vote and do all the stuff that, because this is a fight about regulations. The city has the power to do it, and we just need regular citizens to come here and just do what they should be doing anyway. Vote, fill out their comment cards, participate in the process, and like that's why there aren't a million people out here, because people are intimidated of doing protests, but we're allowing that to happen. We're allowing the regular democratic process to happen. So thanks. I'm really glad that people continue to come to these things. And I think I have no problem telegraphing our moves and saying that like we can keep being more radical. And I mean, just what we're doing is having an effect. And that's with pretty low community involvement. But we're out here, we can be more radical, and we can really make the city council think twice about what they're doing. And then it'll make people in the community, when we go and say, look, we did all of this stuff, the least you can do is go to a meeting and vote, or write, like, you know, sign an online petition. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep doing this, and hopefully the city council tomorrow will make the right decision, and then we can say, good job, now there's all this other stuff we want you to do. But if they don't do it, we're going to give them hell, and this is just the beginning. So beware, city council. Do the right thing. I have a couple announcements. So tomorrow, does anybody know when the vote is tomorrow? 7. It's like pretty late on the agenda. Tomorrow's a regular city council meeting. They're going to be voting on the temporary moratorium. If you have time and like energy and you like hanging out at City Hall, you should come to that. There's also going to be on February 8th, which is Wednesday, 3 professors at UNT are doing a speak out about gas drilling, about fracking. Does anyone have the details for that? No. Okay. That sucks. Well, yeah, it's at the library. It's on Wednesday. People should go to that. And what's that?
Post it on the Occupy Facebook. You can check. We'll post it there.
It'll be on Facebook.
Yeah. Occupy Facebook. Occupy then Facebook.